Alright guys, there we go. We're on phase I don't know what of our happy little 142 Super Duty conversion. Now you can see we've got Mr. Joe's Echo board nicely installed. Everything around this, everything's tapped in, nice and local, nice and quick, nice and clean. Now this guy wants channels in this radio, and everybody's you guys want channels in these 142s, and that's great, but this is not a real convenient radio to channel. That's the easiest way to say it. You can do it. You can do anything to anything, but this is not a real convenient radio to channel. So I'm going to show you the right way to do this kind of a conversion. And you know, I had a buddy of mine ask me, he says, well, why are you showing this stuff, showing these guys how to do this? Aren't you afraid they're going to do it? I'm like, yeah, I am. Because I'm getting a little silly with looking at these radios that, you know, some of these guys are doing stuff to them and looking up little tricks online, and you don't understand what you're doing when you do what you're doing. And if you don't understand what you're tapping into and what you're changing around, you don't know if what you're doing is harmful or beneficial. So the 142 chassis really wants a different reference crystal to achieve the higher channels. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to do it the right way. Some guys will take a 5-position switch and just throw it in there and make their own little crystal bank. Guys, here's the problem with that. Your radio runs on a reference. Okay, this is your reference crystal, and the 142 is an 1111, and I think it's a 25. It's 1111. Oh, it's an 1111 crystal. Okay, that's right. It's 1111, whatever. Okay, bottom line is 1111 23, whatever. It's an 1111. That's the. Now in a 2000. This is an 1111, or this is an 11.32 crystal, okay? And in the 2000, this pin is isolated. So that shifts the reference on this PLL to the 1132, to the 11.32 crystal. This chassis has a dual reference circuit of some kind where a 2000, I think, has a single or reverse. I'm not sure. Anyway, one's one setup, one's the other. This one requires this crystal. The 2000 requires the different crystal. Now, the benefit with the 2000 is you can just take it and add a couple of toggle switches, a 1000 or a 2000 or a 148, anything that's got the the 1111 or the MB8790 chain chip, and this pin is isolated. Then you can go ahead and ground this pin, ground the pin next to it, and you can come up with 2 sets of uppers and a set of lowers. This radio will not allow you to do that. When you first pop it open, if you just short these 2 pins to ground, what you're going to get is your lower bank. That's all it's going to give you. So to get to the uppers, there's 1 or 2 ways to do it. And I've tried them all, and this is the way we're going to settle on this radio. What we've done is we've removed the 1111 crystal. It's coming out, and it is going into not just a rotary switch, but a crystal bank. Okay, guys, if you're going to do a conversion like this, you look at it, and it's not rocket science. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I'm just showing you the right way to do it. I'm not building all this stuff from scratch. You know, this is not, it's not rocket science, but the stuff is available for you guys to modify these radios without tearing them up, and that's my point. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make a video for this. Quickly, I'm gonna explain to you the benefit of this board. If you can't see it by just looking at it, then you probably should be having your technician do a modification like this for you anyway. But if you look at this board and you already see what the difference is these little yellow guys right here. These are variable capacitors. What that's going to allow me to do is I'm going to take this crystal out of here and I'm going to put it in bank 1. That's going to be my normal channels. But now what's going to happen when I do that? I've already aligned the radio with the crystal living in the chassis. So now the radio is in complete alignment, transmit and receive AM upper sideband, lower sideband. So now I'm going to take, so now it's at that point and you guys want to channel it. Well, great. But first, you've got to put your modification in and make it work on regular 40 channels first. Don't do the whole modification and then take off trying to align everything at the radio. If you do this conversion right, this is your itinerary. You're going to pop this crystal once the radio's been aligned properly. Then you're going to take this guy. Now, this gentleman wants it out the front. We really don't have a lot of options because of the length of the board. Okay, we can't put it in like this because it's going to stick on the top of the console. Our option only is he's going to come out the front. And since he's already put his Echo board out the front, and you can see in the pictures, before this video, I showed you the right way to put the echo board in. If you've opened your radio and your echo board's been installed with electrical tape, and this control is sticking way the frick out here, fire your technician. He's lazy. That's the way an echo board's supposed to be installed, mounted. Not even necessarily having this particular board. I'm saying any echo board. You put it in and you mount it securely. This way it's grounded to the chassis. It's solid. It's not going to move. It's not going to get damaged. It's not going to overheat being wrapped in freaking electrical tape, already being exposed to this hostile environment with heat as it is. So now let's get back to the channel here. We're gonna put this guy in. He's gonna come out the front. Okay, he's gonna come out the front right here. And I'm gonna show you the right way to pop a hole in one of these. Everybody takes the drill and then you wonder why your freaking hole's over here and not where it's supposed to be. Guys, this is simple. You're gonna drill a pilot hole first. Make sure it's centered. If not, at least if your pilot hole's small, you can adjust where you're gonna put the rest of your freaking hole. It's not rocket science, guys. It's just basic steps to follow. So we're gonna pop our pilot hole. And we're going to pop the right sides over. We're going to get this channel kit and we're going to get it centered. Let's call it what it is. It's a crystal bank. We're going to install a crystal bank properly in front of the radio. And then, nice. You want me to work on your radios while I'm dropping your parts. Anyway, we're going to put this guy in there. But before I do that, because the pins on the original crystal are very short, guys. Okay, see this? This is one that's been soldered in. These are... They're pretty durable when it comes to heat. I mean, you can solder them and unsolder them a couple times, but you don't want to get wonky with it. Because, like any other electronic device, it's sensitive to heat. As the radio warms up, if you can watch it on a frequency counter, oftentimes, like my 2000 Super Duty over here, once it's warmed up, this counter never leaves, whatever channel I'm on, .50. I mean, it's 50. Oh, he got me, 5-1. Well, that's what happens when you got 10-turn clarifiers. But I can take mine and dial it and lock it. And once again, I'm back to 50 everywhere. So, here's the thing. A proper alignment, and it's a 40-year-old radio. I can deal with a 1 kz shift on a freaking 150 channel radio. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the channels back in normal. We're going to get the basic. Now, here the radio's aligned. We're done with that, with this crystal in this environment. So now what's going to happen is we're going to move this over to here. And we're going to install the crystal over here. And now we've added a length of wire. And that's going to change the reactivity of the circuit. So now once you do that, you're not on 50 anymore. You might even be a channel off. Sometimes I've seen it happen. The cool thing about this board is my chassis is in alignment, as long as I feed it the reference that I aligned it with. So I'm going to pop that crystal in here now. For this, I'm going to unsolder this crystal socket. I'm going to install this crystal right to the bank. Then once I get it in here and solid and mounted where it's going to live, because anybody who's ever played with a channel kit knows sometimes if you install your kit and move your wires around, you watch your frequency go all wonky. So we're going to get this installed. We're going to get the wires pulled over and shielded the way they're supposed to live. Or if we have to shield them. Sometimes you got to put metal tape around this feed wire to make it stable. I don't know if we're going to have to do that on this one, but we're going to try it. So I'm going to get this mounted. I'm going to get the wire ran the way it lives. And then I'm going to turn the radio on, and if it's off frequency, which it's going to be, at least it's off frequency in sync with itself because I've already aligned it with the crystal. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the crystal in here, and I'm going to align this crystal back to the radio instead of going in here and driving all my freaking references wonky trying to realign a radio to a crystal that's off frequency because you changed the length of the wire. Okay, so now we get that crystal in here, we get it mounted, and then I'm going to dial the radio back to 50 on AM with this guy right here, the very first cap, very first variable cap. All I'm going to do is dial the radio back to 50 right here. I'm going to leave the radio alone, guys. Stop it. There's no reason why your transmit and receive should be out of sync and your 50 should be off when you go from AM to sideband. There's no need for it. If the radio's healthy, you can do a conversion like this and it'll be fine. So check out the pictures that are coming after this video. I'm going to go step by step how to pop this guy in, and then at the end we'll show you a video of how it came out. And like everything else, it's going to be fine. So check it out. Keep watching.